Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to take a literal X-ray tour behind the drywall and right beneath the floorboards of Zionsville, Indiana. You know, we turn on our faucets every single day, we flush toilets, run the dishwasher, and we honestly don't give it a second thought. But behind the walls of your home is this incredibly complex, hidden ecosystem, and it is constantly battling the elements, aging materials, and sometimes, well, even the original builders. So today we're pulling back the curtain using some brilliant insights from Keystone Plumbing, Indiana to uncover what's really going on inside your pipes.
Okay, so our roadmap today covers a few key areas. We've got Zionsville's unique housing landscape, nature's invisible plumbing threats, common household plumbing nightmares, handling plumbing emergencies, and finally, the professional plumbing difference. Starting right off with Section 1, Zionsville's unique housing landscape. To really get what's happening with our plumbing, we've got to look at the crazy diversity of homes around central Indiana. It's basically a tale of two totally different eras. On one hand, you've got these gorgeous historic homes in the Village District, right? Built back in the 1800s and early 1920s. But here's the catch. They've got ticking time bomb pipes. We're talking aging cast iron and outdated galvanized steel that were simply never designed to handle today's modern water pressure. Plus, fixing them means navigating some pretty strict historic preservation rules. On the flip side, we have the shiny newer builds in places like Pemberton and Stonegate. They use modern PEX or copper piping, sure, but they are absolutely not immune to problems. Builders sometimes cut corners with minimum code plumbing. So you end up with improper venting, undersized water heaters, and cheap builder-grade fixtures that just fail way too early.
Moving right along to Section 2, nature's invisible plumbing threats. Because, you know, it's not just the houses themselves. Central Indiana is beautiful, but nature is constantly throwing curveballs at our infrastructure. Think about the freeze-thaw cycle for a second. When we hit those bitter winter temps and it drops below 15 degrees, man, the water in your unheated crawlspaces and exterior walls literally turns to ice and expands. This creates a massive bursting hazard, especially in older neighborhoods like Union Park and Holiday Farms. That expanding ice easily cracks copper and PEX pipes. It's basically a disaster waiting to happen the second things start to thaw out. But hey, cold isn't the only threat out there. In those older neighborhoods, beautiful mature oaks and maples are secretly sending their roots straight into aging clay tile sewer lines, just looking for moisture. If you start noticing slow drains everywhere, weird gurgling, basement sewage, or even mysterious soggy patches out in your yard, yeah, you've got a hidden invasion. Those roots actually crack the joints and create total blockages. Fixing it usually requires high-tech video inspections and hydrojetting to clear it all out safely. All right, let's jump into Section 3, Common Household Plumbing Nightmares. Let's play a little diagnosis game using the most common questions homeowners ask when things start acting a bit weird.
You know the feeling. You step in to take your morning shower expecting an energizing blast, and instead you get this sad, depressing drizzle. You've probably asked yourself why your pressure is suddenly so terrible. Well, here's the deal. Zionsville is notorious for hard water, and it leaves behind heavy mineral deposits that literally choke your fixtures from the inside. Or, if your home was built before 1970, your aging galvanized pipes might be rusting from the inside out, narrowing the pipe until water can barely squeeze through. Just to give you an idea, a healthy, normal water pressure should sit right between 45 and 60 psi.
Okay, next mystery. Is your bathroom trying to talk to you? You hear that bubbling, popping, gurgling noise coming from the toilet? What is it actually saying?
That spooky gurgling sound basically means your plumbing system is gasping for air. Think of pouring liquid out of a 2-liter bottle. It needs air to flow smoothly, right? Your pipes are the same way. They need proper venting. So a gurgle strongly indicates a partial mainline blockage, or, very often in newer DIY remodels, improper vent sizing from cheap contractor work. And honestly, fixing undersized venting usually means having to tear open the drywall. Now for a total classic. Is a running toilet really a big deal? Come on, we have all jiggled the handle, heard the water stop, and just walked away. But let's look at why ignoring this is actually a stealthy, massive drain on your wallet.
Get this, a single running toilet can waste up to 200 gallons of water every single day. Let me say that again, 200 gallons. Picture 200-gallon-sized milk jugs just pouring straight down your drain every 24 hours. And the crazy part? It's almost always caused by a cheap, worn-out rubber flapper valve that costs literally a few bucks to replace.
Which brings us to Section 4, Handling Plumbing Emergencies. We've talked about the daily annoyances, but what happens when the absolute worst occurs?
Panic is not an option. We need a calm, proactive plan.
So, here is your emergency protocol. If a pipe bursts and your basement suddenly turns into a swimming pool, follow these 3 steps. First, kill the main water supply immediately to stop the bleeding. Second, start extracting that standing water right away to prevent secondary damage and mold. And third, call a 24/7 emergency professional for a rapid response repair.
And I really want to highlight a crucial safety tip from the pros regarding frozen pipes. Please, whatever you do, put the blowtorch away. Never, ever use open flames to thaw a pipe unless you're trying to start a house fire. Instead, grab a standard hairdryer or a heating pad and just apply gentle, even heat to the area.
Finally, Section 5, the professional plumbing difference. Because resolving these stressful nightmares safely and up to code really requires calling in the right heroes for the job.
Look, there's a massive difference between taking a gamble and hiring an actual expert. With amateurs, you're usually dealing with mystery hourly rates that just keep ticking up, maybe some unlicensed helpers learning on the job, and cheap builder-grade parts. Contrast that with a pro outfit like Keystone Plumbing. They give you flat rate, upfront pricing, they send fully licensed Indiana journeymen or master plumbers, and they show up with fully stocked trucks. That means they've got professional-grade parts ready to fix the problem on the very first visit.
I know skipping permits sounds like an easy way to save a buck, but it's a huge mistake. The Zionsville Building Department absolutely requires them for major jobs like water heaters and repiping. And if you do unpermitted work, you immediately void your manufacturer warranties. Plus, licensed plumbers know exactly how to meet the Indiana Plumbing Code. They'll install things like thermal expansion tanks, which act as mini shock absorbers for water pressure during heating cycles. And they'll add pressure-reducing valves if your municipal supply pushes past 80 psi. Doing this stuff by the book literally protects your home from bursting pipes.
I absolutely love this philosophy. The price we quote is the price you pay. It completely anchors your trust and peace of mind as a homeowner. No surprises, no weird hidden weekend fees, no bait and switch, just transparent communication and total professional accountability, right from the first phone call.
So I'm going to leave you with this one critical question to investigate tonight. If a pipe bursts at 2 a.m., do you and your family know exactly where your main water shutoff valve is located? Seriously, don't wait for an emergency to figure it out. Finding it tonight could quite literally save your house from the next big freeze. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay dry out there, and I'll catch you on the next one.